Want to make your own printable language worksheets so you can learn, practice, and master the language faster? Keep watching. There's an easy way to do this with our system. But first, if you don't yet have access to our language learning system, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description to get your free lifetime account. First step, getting your word and phrase lists. First, before you get to making the actual printable worksheets, you'll need the words and phrases that you'd like to practice with the worksheets. And that depends on you and what you want to learn and practice. But don't worry, there's an easy way to do it as you're learning with our system, and I'm going to show you how. So as you go through the lessons on your learning pathway, you'll come across new words and phrases in every lesson. You'll find them down in the vocab section. If there are any you want to save, you can send them to your word bank. Think of the word bank as your extended brain, where you save words and phrases for later review. And the word bank is what will help you make these worksheets down the line. So just hit the Add to Word Bank button on the lesson page for whichever words and phrases you want to save, and keep on going with the lessons. By the way, you can also save words from our free vocabulary lists, which you'll find in the vocabulary drop-down menu. There are hundreds of word and phrase lists sorted by topics like weather, hobbies, or chatting about your day. When you find words or phrases you like, hit Add All to Word Bank, and boom, your vocab collection grows. So this is your first step. Once you've added enough words and phrases and want to make some worksheets, move on to this next step. Second step, creating your own printable worksheets. Now here's how you put the word bank to use and make your own worksheets. Start by heading to the vocabulary menu and clicking on Word Bank. That's where all your saved words and phrases are. And if you're on the app, you'll find the word bank inside the menu. Once you're in the word bank, you'll see an option for a printer-friendly version. Click it, and there you can print your entire collection right away. Or if you've organized your word bank into categories like verbs, adjectives, or whatever labels work for you, you can export just those. Select the label, hit Export Word Bank, and save it as a PDF. After that, print it out and you've got a personalized worksheet ready to go. You can use it for a review or even write on it to practice, and that's it. By the way, if you just want ready-made printable worksheets and cheat sheets, you'll find them inside our free Gifts of the Month newsletter, which goes out to all members, so look out for that. So if you want to learn the language and get access to these learning tools and our learning system, sign up for a free lifetime account right now. Just click the link in the description to get your free lifetime account.
Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Afrikaans PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Hello, my name is Stelly, and I hope you are ready for your next Afrikaans lesson. Please like the video, you must subscribe to our channel please, and go to afrikaanspod101.com for your free lifetime account. So, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about a man, his name is Kobus, and it's his day of work, his regular day of work, okay? So I'm going to tell the story and read the story, and I will not translate in the beginning. See how much you can follow, see if you can answer the few questions afterwards, and then we'll do the translation. Okay? Let's go. Kobus is 'n verkoopsverteenwoordiger. Hy staan vroeg op, drink koffie en eet ontbyt. Hy ry na sy kliënte toe. Die verkeer is swaar. Hy het verskeie afsprake. Hy kry 'n goeie bestelling by hierdie kliënt. Om 1 uur is hy honger en koop kitskos. Hy kry sy hamburger. I know it's an English word, but we just say hamburger in Afrikaans. Hy kry sy hamburger en skyfies by die deurryvenster. So a lot of people will not say skyfies, they will say chips. But as you see, chips is spelled differently in Afrikaans than in English. Hy kry sy hamburger of hamburger en skyfies by die deurryvenster. Sy baas bel hom om te kla. Kobus het nie die vorige maand sy teiken behaal nie. Dit is baie stresvol. Om 6 uur is hy terug by die huis. Sy 2 kinders is baie bly om hom te sien. Die kinders slaap. Kobus en sy vrou is stopflou. Hulle kyk TV en gaan dan ook slaap. How did that go? Did you understand? I hope so. So here are a few true or false questions, just 3 of them. Is hierdie stellings waar, true, or false, onwaar? Okay? Kobus het sy eie besigheid. Kobus werk by die huis. So it would be a good idea to just write it down. You can even just write a W for waar and an O for onwaar. That's all. So that when we come back to these questions, you'll remember what you answered. Kobus werk by die huis. Kobus staan vroeg op. Right, so let's do the translation. So, Kobus is a verkoopsverteenwoordigheid. I know this is a terribly long word, but folks, don't get a fright. Verkoop means sales or sell. Verteenwoordiger is a representative. I will break it down further towards the end of the lesson, okay? So, he's a sales rep, basically. That's what we call it, a sales rep. So, hy staan vroeg op, drink koffie en eet ontbyt. You see the English there, so you can read it yourself. And remember that we have in Afrikaans sometimes long words, but it's because if it's one thing, we make it one word. Okay? So that's why the words are long. So hy ry na sy kliënte toe. So he's got several clients. He drives there. Die verkeer is swaar. Die verkeer is swaar. So you can see cliënte and clients, it's very, very close. The only reason we put the deelteken on the E there is if we didn't, it would be kliënte, because IE makes the E sound, right? So we have to help the reader to see it's not kliënte, it's cliënte. So a deelteken, deel die klank. It divides the sound from the previous vowel. Right, so hy het verskeie afsprake. He's got several appointments. En hy kry 'n goeie bestelling by hierdie kliënt. A good order. So in Afrikaans, if we put the adjective before the noun like we do here, it can change. So otherwise we would have said die bestelling is goed. But now if we put the adjective before the noun, we say die goeie bestelling. Goed, so hy is gelukkig want hy het 'n goeie bestelling gekry. So nou is hy honger. 1 uur, om 1 uur is hy honger. So at 1 o'clock, that's what we say in English, but in Afrikaans, if we're talking about a specific time, we say om, and then the time. Om 1 uur is hy honger en koop kitskos. Kits means instant, which is what we call fast food, kitskos. So hy koop sy hamburger en skyfies of chips. So as I say, Afrikaners just call it a hamburger. By die deur ry venster. Deur is through, ry is drive, and venster is window. Deur ry venster. Again, one thing, one word. Here comes the stressful part. Sy baas bel hom om te kla. Complain is kla. And boss is baas. Very similar sound, but different spelling. Kobus het nie die vorige maand sy teiken behaal nie. Remember the two ni's in Afrikaans? If you negate something, there are two ni's. So he did not reach his target. So you know how it is with sales reps. They have targets to reach, and sometimes they just can't reach it. And now he hasn't. So you can see he's pretty stressed out. Dit is baie stressvol, and want, he's worried about his job. Is he going to keep his job because he didn't reach his target? Is his boss going to be understanding? It's very stressful. But at 6 o'clock, om 6 uur, again, om 6 uur, is hy terug by die huis. Sy 2 kinders is baie bly om hom te sien. You can see this is the highlight of their day when Daddy comes home. So then I skipped the last bit about eating supper and everything, because you know that that's what's going to happen. You're going to eat supper, you're going to put the children to bed. And so this is after they've put the children to bed. Die kinders slaap. Kobus en sy vrou is stokflou. Stokflou, I'm going to explain just now, it just means they're exhausted. Okay, they really are exhausted. You can see by their faces. Hulle kyk TV en gaan dan slaap. So, which is pretty obvious there what the English is. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of analysis of words. Oh yes, and the questions. Did you get them right? Is hierdie stellings waar of onwaar? Kobus het sy eie besigheid. That means Kobus has his own business. Is that true? No, we can see it's not true because his boss called him and everything. So obviously it's not his business. Kobus werk by die huis. No, he goes to see clients. Dis onwaar. Kobus staan vroeg op. Yes, he gets up early. That is true. Okay, how did you do? I hope you did pretty well with that one. Okay, now let's have a look at this long word here. I want to break it up for you. So koop is buy. Verkoop is sell. And teenwoordig is present. Verteenwoordig is represent. And of course, if you add an ER to something, to a word, it means it's the person who does it. It's the same in English. So there's a verkoopsverteenwoordiger. So he's the person who represents the company to sell the things for that company. And the S is just a little bridge because it's very difficult to say verkoopverteenwoordiger, like, from the P to the F is uncomfortable. So we add the S and then it makes it an easier bridge. Verkoopsverteenwoordiger. Right, so now what about the stokflou? You can also say dood moeg. And this means exhausted. We have many words like this in Afrikaans. We call them intensieve forme. So it's intensive forms. When something is very much so. It's adjectives. If they're very tired, or they're very smart, or they're very crazy, or they're very in love, there's words for all of that. It makes Afrikaans very colorful. Right, so that's it for today. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to our channel and go to afrikaanspod101.com for your free lifetime account. I will see you next time. Ek sal jou volgende keer sien. Totsiens!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets. Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Afrikaans PDF cheat sheets, teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Hello, my name is Stelly. Are you ready for your next Afrikaans lesson? I'm very excited about this lesson. So I hope you're going to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and go to afrikaanspod101.com for your free lifetime account, okay? So, the reason I'm excited is I'm going to tell you about the Afrikaner culture today. Now, before we start, I want to make something clear. And I'm sure whatever culture you're living in, it's the same. We can say Afrikaners are like this or that. But really, there's every Afrikaner is different, of course. You know, it's just like, you can't say Americans are like this or Japanese people are like that, because people are different and they grew up differently. And also the other thing that's complicates matters is, you know, the previous generation is also different from this generation. So when I give this lesson, I want you to keep in mind that I am generalizing, which is not always a good idea, but it's, you know, you can't really avoid it with a lesson like this. So I'm going to generalize, but I'm going to give you a good idea of, generally speaking, Afrikaans culture. Right? Are you ready? Okay. Afrikaners is baie na aan hulle familie. Hulle is na aan hulle familie. Close to their family. They eat together, hulle eet saam, hulle doen dinge saam, lag saam. So, it's close-knit families. Ons groet mekaar met 'n soen. Mwah. Even kissing on the mouth is fine in Afrikaans culture. Even if you're not, you know, in a romantic relationship. A lot of people kiss each other on the mouth to greet. Maar mans, men, shake hands. Mans skud hand. So ons groet mekaar met 'n soen. Baie mense groet mekaar met 'n soen op die wang of op die lippe. Maar mans skud die hand. Die meeste Afrikaners respekteer die Bybel, maar hulle is in baie verskillende kerke. So most Afrikaners respect the Bible, and they're Christian. Most Afrikaners are Christian, but they're still in many different churches. So it's not one church. Die meeste Afrikaners respekteer die Bybel. You can see how close that is to English. Respekteer die Bybel, maar hulle is in baie verskillende kerke, in many different churches. We love to braai. Afrikaners is mal oor braai. We're crazy about having a barbecue. Now, braai is a word we all use. It's an Afrikaans word, but the English people use it. Vernacular people, Zulu, Sesotho, Xhosa, all of them speak about having a braai. So it's an Afrikaans word that has become universally used universally in South Africa. Ons eet baie vleis. Ons eet baie vleis. We eat a lot of meat here in South Africa. Afrikaners and other cultures, we also eat a lot of meat. And how do we get that meat? Well, most of us buy it in the shop. Maar baie Afrikaners jag vir hulle vleis. Jag is hunt. Baie Afrikaners jag vir hulle vleis. So they take a trip, they go to the bushveld, they go to a place where they can hunt, and they hunt a couple of buck or some warthog, and they slaughter it. Sometimes they have it slaughtered or processed. Sometimes they process it themselves. Because it's healthier, you know, these wild animals have not been fed all the hormones. So, baie Afrikaners jag vir hulle vleis. Jag vir hulle vleis. Ons is lief vir die natuur. We love nature. Ons is lief vir die natuur. En gaan na die kreer en ander wildtuine toe. Ons gaan na die kreer en ander wildtuine toe om diere en voëls te sien. So, get used to that expression, ons is lief vir. When we say we love something, we say ons is lief vir. We don't say ons lief. We say ons is lief vir. Ons is lief vir die natuur, because of course, in Africa, there's amazing things to see, amazing animals to see that we can't always see in other places. So ons gaan na die wildtuin om die diere te gaan sien en ons neem foto's. Some people have these long telescopic lenses and they take photos of birds. You have an incredible number of birds, beautiful birds in South Africa. So if you love birding, come here. Ons is lief vir die natuur en gaan na die Kruger en ander wildtuine. 'n Wildtuin is a game park. Toe om diere en voëls te sien. There's a deelteken on the E because we don't say fools, we say fools. Okay. Baie Afrikaners het 'n karavaan. 'n Karavaan of 'n tent, which is the same in English, en is lief daarvoor om te gaan kamp. Baie Afrikaners het 'n karavaan of 'n tent en is lief daarvoor om te gaan kamp. We love to go camping. We have a caravan. A lot of people have caravans, or they have those pop-up tents on those vehicles that you just pop it up and you sleep up there in the tent. Or they have a tent that is just on the ground. We just have a tent that's on the ground. So, ons het 'n karavaan of 'n tent. Ons is lief daarvoor om te gaan kamp. Musiek. Afrikaanse musiek is baie populêr. Daar is baie musiekfeeste met Afrikaanse liedjies. Daar's baie Afrikaanse liedjies. So if you want to hear some Afrikaans music, go to Spotify and go and look for some Afrikaans music, or YouTube. There's wonderful music, Afrikaans. It's a growing industry. There are so many artists. So they cater for dancing and for singing ballads, folk songs and everything, and old-fashioned type of dancing as well as modern dancing. So there's lots of types of dancing. Afrikaanse musiek is baie populêr. Populêr. Very close to English, eh? Popular. Goed. Meer as 50% van die kommersiële boere in Suid-Afrika is Afrikaners. Ons hou van plaaslewe. So, as you can see, more than 50% of the commercial farmers in South Africa are Afrikaners, and we love farm life. So, meer as 50% van die kommersiële boere in Suid-Afrika is Afrikaners. Ons hou van die plaaslewe. A lot of our songs are also about farm life and being a farmer. Ons hou daarvan om stories en grappe te vertel en om te lag. We love telling stories and laughing. We even laugh about things that are not really funny, but we make a joke about it to make it more bearable, you know. So we like telling stories and jokes and to laugh. Ons hou daarvan om stories en grappe te vertel. Vertel is to tell en om te lag. Dit is belangrik vir Afrikaners om 'n goeie opvoeding te kry. Belangrik, important, vir Afrikaners om 'n goeie opvoeding te kry. Good education, goeie opvoeding. En rugby is ons gunsteling sport. Die Springbok span speel baie goed. That's the South African team. Springbokke. Everybody in South Africa loves the Springboks. Rugby is ons gunsteling sport. Our favorite sport. The Afrikaners love the rugby. They get very excited about rugby and the teams. Die Springbokke wen dikwels die wêreldbeker. So Springboks are very good. They often win the World Cup for rugby. Die Springbokke wen dikwels die wêreldbeker. So if you ever come to South Africa, you've got to come and watch a rugby game and feel the vibe, okay? So, I hope you liked the video. Subscribe to our channel and go to afrikaanspod101.com for your free lifetime account. Tot ziens!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations, and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets.
My name is Stelly.
Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Afrikaans PDF cheat sheets? Teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Hello, my name is Stelly, and we're going to do a lesson today in Afrikaans. And I hope you like the video and that you subscribe to our channel and go to afrikaanspod101.com for your free lifetime account. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about Afrikaans games, and it's a listening exercise. So that means that I'm going to go through the whole thing, which is really a series of games that Afrikaners play, and you have to try and see how much you understand. There's going to be no translation at first, only the second run is going to be translated, okay? So, are you listening? Luister jy. Vandag speel baie Afrikaners videospeletjies, net soos in ander lande. Hier is 'n uitnodiging na 'n boeresportdag. Kom, speel saam. Appelhap is een van die speletjies wat ons gaan speel. Hap die appel uit 'n drom water sonder om jou hande te gebruik. 3-been resies. Bind die regterbeen van die een persoon aan die linkerbeen van die ander persoon vas en hardloop dan 'n resies. Eet 'n beskuit en fluit. Eet 'n beskuit droog, sluk dit en fluit. Die een wat eerste kan fluit, wen. Toutrek. Die span wat die ander span 4 meter oor die middellyn kan trek, wen. Sakresies. Hardloop 'n resies in 'n sak. Eier in die lepel resies. Hardloop met 'n rou eier in 'n lepel. As jou eier breek, is jy uit. Jukskei. 'n Speletjie wat gedurende die groot trek begin het of populêr geword het. Toe die trekkers gestop het, het hulle die jukke van die osse gebruik vir jukskei. Daar is die jukke. En hier is 'n prentjie van 'n juk. Dit is 'n juk en daar is die skeie. Die skeie het hulle gebruik vir die speletjie, vir jukskei. Het jy verstaan? Is die stelling waar of onwaar? Afrikaners speel nie videospeletjies nie. 2. Wat moet 'n speler doen nadat hy 'n droë beskuit geëet het? En 3. Wanneer het jukskei in Suid-Afrika populêr geword? Okay, so how did you do? Let's do this again, and this time you're going to look at the subtitles. You can read the subtitles for yourself or pause the video to get it, to really go through it and say the Afrikaans after me. So vandag speel baie Afrikaners videospeletjies net soos in ander lande. So today many Afrikaners play video games just like in other countries, you see. There are some traditional games, but many people don't play them anymore. So this is an invitation to a boeresportdag. Now, we can translate boeresportdag directly by saying farmer sport day, but really it doesn't work as a direct translation, because a boere boere are not just farmers. It's Afrikaners are called boere. So sport is sports or games, and you are invited to a day of boere sport. So we're going to come and play. And that's an invitation. Kom speel saam, come and play with us. So these games, most of them are also played in other countries. But there's one, the last one, I don't really think they play in other countries. So appelhap is bobbing for apples, you know. You get very wet because you've got to stick your face right in the water to bite the apple, and you're not allowed to use your hands. So hap die appel uit die droomwater sonder om jou hande te gebruik. En die 3-been resies, bind die regterbeen van die een persoon aan die linkerbeen van die ander persoon en hardloop 'n resies. 3-been resies. Eet 'n beskuit en fluit. Now, I must explain what a beskuit is. A beskuit is a very, very dry rusk. You don't actually eat it dry. What we normally do is we dunk it into coffee or tea, whatever you like, or milk even, and then you eat it when it's a little soggy. But to eat it dry is very, very difficult because it is a very dry rusk. So the game is you eat it dry, and the person who can whistle first after eating it and swallowing it, that's the one who wins. So eet 'n beskuit droog, sluk dit en fluit. Die een wat eerste kan fluit, wen. Toe trek, so tug of war, that's also a game played in many other countries. Die span wat die ander span 4 meter oor die middellyn trek, wen. So there's also a special skill to that. When do you pull and when do you rest and all of that. But toe trek, a toe is rope and trek is pull. So it literally means rope pull. Sak resies, that's also for all ages, women, men, children. You get into a sack and you have to hop or run in the sack, and the one who wins, the one who gets to the end wins the race. So this one is the egg in a spoon race. So you play this with a raw egg. You put the raw egg in a spoon, and everybody runs, you know, they start together and they run 50 meters or something. And the idea is to get there first to the end, but also not to drop your egg. Because if you drop your egg and your egg breaks, because it's a raw egg, then you're out of the game. So hardloop met 'n rou eier, 'n raw egg, in 'n lepel. As jou eier breek, is jy uit. This is now truly Afrikaans, jukskei. 'n speletjie wat gedurende die groot trek populêr geword het. Now, what is the groot trek? The groot trek is similar to the move to the west in America. You know, in America, the pioneers moved from the east to the west coast to start from scratch there. And they moved in those big ox wagons, and they moved across the country. Now, this happened in South Africa as well, because the English annexed the Cape and started moving north. And the Boere, the Afrikaners, did not want to live under the English. So they wanted to have their independence, their national independence, so they moved north, and this is called the Great Trek. Trek is a move. So this became very popular during that period, and I'll explain just now why. These markers here, these parts that are used, the skeie, we call this a skeie, and this is a pen, a peg in English. These are modern, and you can see they're the different colors for the different teams. But that's not really what they played with originally. I'll explain how it worked then. So when the trekkers, the people who moved, needed to have a breather, take a breather or give the oxen a break, Then they took the yokes off the oxen, those yokes, took them off, and they pulled out those uprights and they used them for this game. So toe die trekkers vir 'n blaaskans is 'n breeder, gestop het hulle die jukke van die osse gebruik vir jukskei. So there's the yoke and there's the uprights. Uprights, so they pulled them out of the yoke and they played the game with it. Now, if you would like to know how this game is played, by all means, just go to YouTube or Facebook and type in jukskei or video of jukskei, and you will see some. There's some really short ones that you can see. So now, did you get your answers right? Afrikaners speel nie videospeletjies nie. Is dit waar of onwaar? Dis onwaar, it's false. They do play video games. Wat moet 'n speler doen nadat hy 'n droë beskuit geëet het en gesluk het? Hy moet fluit, whistle. Wanneer het jukskei in Suid-Afrika populêr geword? When did jukskei become popular? Gedurende die groot trek. Right, now we're going to do a little bit of a spelling. Remember we had skeie, jukskei. Now there are two ways of spelling the A sound. There are many ways in English, but the A sound, two ways in Afrikaans. As you can see here, vleis, you're going to spell it with an EI, A, or just a Y. Okay, so vleis op ys, meat on ice, there it is. Vleis and ice. Here are a few examples of words that are spelled with an EI, A, eier, and you already saw skei, jukskei, die maand, Mei, brei, sail, which is pronounced in the same way in English, but you just spell it differently, and train, same thing again. Same pronunciation in English, but you spell it with an EI instead of an AI. The other one, a Y, roomys, by, skryf, en vyf. So there's your little spelling lesson as well. So, I hope you liked the video. Please do like it and subscribe to our channel. Go to afrikaanspod101.com for your free lifetime account. Tot ziens!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets. Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Afrikaans PDF cheat sheets, teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Hello, my name is Stelly, and I'm hoping that you're ready for your next Afrikaans lesson. Please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and go to afrikaanspod101.com for your free lifetime account. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the cost of living in South Africa. So, you know, it depends on where you're coming from, right? So the exchange rate today is $1 for 18.6 Rand. So if you're coming from a country that has a stronger currency than ours, you're going to have a wonderful time here. So, in South Africa, as in most countries, your lifestyle depends on your income. So jou lewenstyl in Suid-Afrika hang af van jou inkomste. Ons het skatryk mense, super rich. We've got middle class. We've got the sort of lower middle class, the middle class, and the upper middle class. Lots of middle class people. And we've got brandarm, the poverty-stricken. So you'll notice that here we've got skatryk and brandarm. Those are opposites. And we have intensive forms in Afrikaans, which makes the language very colorful. So we don't just say super rich or very rich. We say skatryk. Skat means treasure. And brandarm, which means it's like an animal that has mange, very thin and sick. So brandarm is very poor. So jou lewenstyl hang af, depends op jou inkomste. It depends on your income. Huurgeld, that's another word you should know. Huurgeld is rent. So if you have a lot of money, you're skatryk, then you can hire a house like this in a good area, beautiful view, for 30,000 rand. Huurgeld vir 'n luxe huis, luxury home, luxe huis in 'n goeie gebied is 30,000 rand. Min of meer. Could be more, of course. Could be a bit less. Huurgeld vir 'n een slaapkamer woonstel in 'n stad is 4,000 tot 8,000 per maand. So it depends on the building and on the area, depending on what you will pay. But in a big city, that's about what you'll pay per month for renting a one-bedroom apartment. Now, I want you to look at this long word. I know, don't get scared. Een slaapkamer woonstel. So if you look at the English, it's a one-bedroom apartment, or in South Africa, we call it a flat. And the rooms in a home in Afrikaans are called after what you do in them. So a dining room is called the eetkamer, die eet in daardie kamer. A living room is called a sitkamer because you sit there. And a bedroom is called a slaapkamer because you sleep there. Makes sense, huh? Okay. So that's what you'll pay for rent in an apartment, one-bedroom apartment in a town. Huurgeld vir een slaapkamer woonstel in 'n groot stad is 4,000 tot 8,000 rand per maand. You want to pay nothing? You want to live for free? Your rent for free at least? You can build yourself a little shack in a squatter camp and then you don't have to pay any rent. Huurgeld vir 'n pandokkie. 'n Pandokkie is a shack in 'n plakkerskamp, 'n squatter camp, is 0 rand. Huurgeld vir 'n pandokkie in 'n plakkerskamp is 0. As jy kinders het, if you have children and you want to send them to school, you have a choice. You can send them to a private school or a public school. So, 'n goeie privaat skool kos omtrent 14,000 rand per maand vir laerskool. Hoërskool is meer geld. So primary school or elementary school is about 14,000 per month. But if it's in high school, it's more. Maar jy kan jou kind na 'n publieke skool stuur. You can send your child to a public school en dan sal jy 14,000 rand per jaar betaal. So much cheaper. And we have good public schools in South Africa. We have very good, and of course, fantastic private schools too. So, jy moet versekering hê in Suid-Afrika. Daar is baie misdaad. I don't want you to not come to South Africa because of the crime, because we all live here and we do fine, thank you very much. But you must be aware that there is a lot of crime in this country. So you have to insure your stuff. Insure your car, insure your home, whatever you have, you should insure, because you could lose it and then you have no recourse. Jy moet versekering hê in Suid-Afrika. Versekering, insurance, misdaad, crime. Motor en huisversekering kan van 2,000 tot 4,500 rand kos of meer. Of course, it depends on what kind of car you have, how new it is, what a fancy, if it's a fancy car, you're going to pay more. And the size of your house and the value of your house, you pay in relation to that. What about health insurance, medische versekering? We call it in South Africa medical aid. Maar, in most other countries we call it medical insurance. So at least you have to have a hospital plan. That's what my husband and I have. We have a hospital plan. So we're not covered for going to the doctor or the dentist or getting medicine. We're not covered for that. We have to pay for that out of our own pocket. But if we're suddenly very sick enough to go to hospital or have to have an operation, or we've been in an accident or something like that, then with that insurance, we can go to a good private hospital. Otherwise, you have to go to the state hospital, and then you have to take what you get, and it's not always good. Jy moet ook mediese versekering hê. Mediese versekering. You can see the relationship there, mediese and medical, very close. So, supermarkte. Now, of course, when you come to South Africa, you have to eat, right? So you go to the supermarket, and we have many different types of supermarkets. Supermarkte verskil. They differ. Dit gaan 'n groot verskil maak aan hoeveel jy spandeer. So it's going to make big difference on how much you spend, depending on the type of supermarket you choose. You get cheaper supermarkets, those are the ones I go for, and then you get upmarket supermarkets. So per person, more or less anything from 2,000 to 4,000 rand per person per month for groceries. Groceries in Afrikaans is kruideniersware. Kruideniersware. So 2,000 tot 4,000 rand per persoon per maand vir kruideniersware. And here's a little bit of an example, you know, bread, depending on what kind of bread you buy, anything from 15 rand to 25 rand, 15 rand tot 25 rand, en 'n liter melk omtrent 15 rand. So, when you go to a shop, as jy na 'n winkel gaan, 'n supermark, en jy sien pragtige uitstallings, if you see beautiful displays, everything beautiful, like in this picture, you see? Beautifully packaged, and colors and the types of vegetables, all very well organized, then you're going to pay more. So pragtige uitstallings beteken hoër pryse. So if you go into a grocery shop and you see everything is pristine, then you are going to pay more. But a lot of people don't mind that. They want that from a shop. Pragtige uitstallings beteken hoër pryse. 'n Kaasburger kos vanaf R63 vir 'n kaasburger wat nie baie lekker is nie, tot R120, miskien meer, vir 'n goeie kaasburger. So, you see this word kos. Kos means costs in this sense. But do remember that kos has two meanings. It's a homonym. So you can say, dit kos R120, but you can also say, ek eet kos. Kos also means food. So it just depends on the context, okay? So you have to know that kos can mean two things. If you're on a budget, a strict budget, and you are a few friends together and you want to just fill your tummy and you haven't got much money, take away fries, wegneem skyfies, kos omtrent R50. So this is interesting because most Afrikaners don't call these skyfies, although that is the proper name for it. We call it slap chips. That's what an Afrikaner calls it, slap chips. Slap means floppy as opposed to a crisp. And chips, we just used the word chips from English, but we spell it a bit differently because the ch sound in Afrikaans is spelled with DJ. So wegneem skyfies, slap chips, omtrent R50. Wil jy na 'n goeie restaurant gaan? You want to go to a good restaurant? We have fantastic restaurants in South Africa. Dit kos omtrent R800 tot R1,800 per persoon vir 'n goeie restaurant. Dit hang af van wat jy bestel. It depends on what you order, obviously. So hang af means depends on. So there are restaurants in South Africa, so many types, Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese, European, Italian, you name it. Anything that you want to find. And you will pay less than what you would pay in other countries if you come with a strong currency. So by 'n goeie restaurant kos dit omtrent 800 tot 1800 rand per persoon. Vervoer. You've got to get around, right? When you come here, you have to get around. So you can hire a car. If you do, petrol kos R21.51 per liter. Maar as jy nie wil bestuur nie, if you don't want to drive, is a very simple option. You can get an app on your phone, 'n toep. Kry die toep op jou foon. You've got 3 choices. Uber, Bolt, of Vanatu. Now, Vanatu is a new taxi type of thing. And it means waar na toe, where to. That's what it means, where to. And if you want to practice your Afrikaans, then go for Vanatu, because all the drivers can speak Afrikaans, Vanatu. And they've got on their cars, they've got dance to, kerk to, huis to. And of course, the to is not really spelled like that. It's spelled like that, T-O-E. But it's just a gimmick that they use. So that's another option. So kry die toep op jou phone. If you get the app on your phone, you can just click on the app and say where you are and where do you want to go, and within minutes you'll have a ride. Very efficient. So kry die toep op jou phone. Wil jy gaan fliek? You want to go to the movies? Dit kos omtrent R135 per persoon om te gaan fliek. Wil jy gaan fliek? You want to go to the movies? That's what it means. Costs about R135 per person. So I hope that you are going to enjoy your visit to South Africa. I know you will. Please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and go to afrikaanspod101.com for your free lifetime account. Tot ziens!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets. Wait! Before we start, do you want a bundle of 30 printable Afrikaans PDF cheat sheets, teaching you words and phrases for conversations for free? Then click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get access.
Hello, my name is Stelly, and I hope you're ready for your next Afrikaans lesson. I hope you like the video. Please subscribe to our channel and go to afrikaanspod101.com for your free lifetime account. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about the naming conventions. How do we name our children? And it's going to be a listening exercise. So you know the rules, hey? I will tell the whole story in Afrikaans with no subtitles, no translation. See how much you can understand, and then see if you can answer the questions. And after that, we'll give you the subtitles. Okay? Right. Aletta en Hendrik du Toit se baba is gebore. Almal is so bly. Dis 'n gesonde seentjie. Dit is die eerste kleinseun in Hendrik se familie. Hulle soek op die internet vir Afrikaanse name. Hulle maak 'n lys. Hendrik sê: "My pa sal verwag dat ons die baba na hom vernoem. Die tradisie is om die eerste seun na die pa se vader te vernoem." Aletta sê: "Ja, ek weet, maar dit is so oudtyds. Ek hou van die naam Andrei. Ons hou albei van daardie naam." Hendrik se ouers kom kuier. oupa Hendrik sê, julle gaan hom na my vernoem, né? Die eerste seun word mos na die pa se vader vernoem. Hendrik verduidelik aan sy pa dat hulle nie by die tradisie gaan hou nie. Hulle wil hom Andrei noem. Ouma glimlag terwyl sy die baba vashou. Ek dink Andrei is 'n baie mooi naam en dit pas mooi by ons Franse van Du Toit. Hulle kyk na 'n ou fotoalbum. Kyk hier, sê oupa Hendrik. Die eerste Du Toit wat van Frankryk na Suid-Afrika toe gekom het, was ook Andrei. So die vraag, volgens die Afrikaanse tradisie, na wie word die eerste seun vernoem? Hoe voel oupa Hendrik eers oor die baba se naam? Hoekom voel hy later beter oor die naam? So yeah, we're going to do this all in English as well now. And I don't know how many of those questions you could answer. Let's see if you can understand better now. So Aletta en Hendrik Du Toit se baba is gebore, their baby is born. Everyone is so happy, almal is so bly. Dis 'n gesonde seuntjie. It's a healthy little boy. Now I want you to notice that little boy, 2 words. That's what we have to do in English. We have to say small or little. But in Afrikaans we have something called the diminutive form, verkleiningsvorm. And that's what you see here, seentjie. This makes Afrikaans a very colorful language because we have all kinds of suffixes we add to a word to make it small. Seentjie, we pronounce ki, although TJ normally is ch, but we pronounce it when it's in a diminutive form, we pronounce it ki. So, seentjie. Dis die eerste kleinseun in Hendrik se familie, so the first grandson in Hendrik's family. And they look for names on the internet, Afrikaans names. Hulle maak 'n lys list. Very close, don't you think? And we don't say internet in Afrikaans, we say internet. So Hendrik sê, my pa sal verwag dat ons die baba na hom vernoem. So vernoem means to name after somebody else. So the tradition is that the son, the firstborn son, is named after the father's father. That's the tradition in South Africa, with Afrikaans culture. So Hendrik says that's what his dad's going to expect. His dad's name is Hendrik Adrian, and he's going to expect that this little boy is going to be called Hendrik Adrian. And Aletta's not happy about that because she doesn't want her son to be called Hendrik Adrian. She wants Andrei. So Aletta sê, ja, ek weet, maar dis so oudtyds, you know, she doesn't want to stick to the old-fashioned tradition. She likes the name Andrei. Ek hou van die naam. To say I like, to say ek hou van. Ons hou albei van daardie naam. She says, she reminds him, we both like that name. Then the grandparents come to visit. And oupa Hendrik, that's grandpa Hendrik, he says, julle gaan hom na my vernoem, né? You're going to name him after me, right? The firstborn son always gets named after the father's father, the dad's father. So that's what he expects and that's what he says. But then Hendrik explains to him, Hendrik verduidelik aan sy pa, dat hulle nie by die tradisie gaan hou nie. They're not going to keep to the tradition. They want to call him Andrei. So, what's going to happen now? Well, the grandma diffuses the situation. Ouma glimlag terwyl sy die baba vashou. She's smiling, she's holding the baby, and she says, I think Andrei is a very nice name. Dis 'n baie mooi naam, en dit pas mooi by ons Franse van Du Toit. It fits nicely with our French surname or last name, Du Toit, because Andrei is also a French name, the first French name. So she reckons that's a good idea. And then, to resolve the whole situation, the grandpa is looking at an old photo album, and he notices that the first Du Toit Frenchman that came to South Africa in the distant past, in 1700s, was also André. So he says, kyk hier, sê oupa Hendrik, die eerste Du Toit wat van Frankryk na Suid-Afrika toegekom het, was ook André. So I want you to notice that eerste, that's an ordinal number. First, second, third, fourth. We've got in Afrikaans eerste, tweede, derde, vierde. So the ordinal numbers are also important to know if you want to say. Want you don't say eenste. You know, you say een. When you count 1, 2, 3, 4, you don't say eenste, you say eerste. Okay, so here are the questions. Volgens die Afrikaanse tradisie, na wie word die eerste seun vernoem? So according to the Afrikaans tradition, who is the first boy named after? And the answer is, hy word na sy pa se vader vernoem, of sy pa se pa. We will talk about father and pa just now. So the first boy gets named after the dad's dad. That's the tradition. Hoe voel oupa Hendrik eers oor die baba se naam? So how does he at first feel about the name André? And the answer is, hy voel ongelukkig of ontevrede. Ongelukkig means unhappy, ontevrede means dissatisfied. So die derde vraag, hoekom voel hy later beter oor die naam André? Why does he feel better later on? Want die eerste Du Toit wat Suid-Afrika toe gekom het, was André. The first Du Toit that came from France to South Africa was called André. So that made oupa Hendrik feel better. So lastly, I just want to have a few words that we know how we call parents or grandchildren or whatever in Afrikaans. So, papi, we're going from the least formal to the most formal. Papi, papa, pa, father. All of it means dad. But father, of course, is father. Again, mommy, mama, ma, moeder. Oupa en oma means grandpa and grandmom. Oupa grootjie, oma grootjie, that's great-grandfather and great-grandmother. And grandchildren, kleinseun en kleindogter. Grandson, granddaughter. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to our channel and go to afrikaanspod101.com for your free lifetime account. Tot ziens!
Now that you're finished with this lesson, don't forget, as a free bonus, you get over 30 conversation cheat sheets, but only if you sign up via the link in the description. You'll learn how to have flowing conversations and how to answer the most common questions. You can also print out these colorful cheat sheets to keep as physical study material. So don't miss out on this free gift. Click the link in the description and sign up for a free lifetime account to get your PDF cheat sheets.
Access your free language gifts right now, before they expire. First, the Talking About Age PDF cheat sheet, so you can easily ask and answer, how old are you, in your target language. Second, the Being Thankful vocabulary list. What are you thankful for this Thanksgiving? You'll be able to express your gratitude fluently with this 1-minute lesson. Third, want a bonus writing worksheet for Thanksgiving? No other language app will give you free bonus resources, but we will. You'll master all the different phrases for saying thank you with this free writing worksheet. Fourth, online shopping vocabulary. Learn how to say sale, coupon, and much more with this 1-minute vocabulary bonus. And fifth, the only language app that gets you speaking and understanding native speakers because it teaches you through real conversations between real native speakers. Download the innovative language learning app for free on Android, iPhone, and iPad. To get your free gifts of the month, click the link in the description below and download them now before they expire.
Great work. Here's a reward. Speed up your language learning with our PDF lessons. Get all of our best PDF cheat sheets and ebooks for free. Just click the link in the description.